Okay, keeping the theme going about work-related issues or work. I'm not trying to go back into the workforce. I'm trying to be independent. Have this YouTube thing work out, crypto, and I'm going to react today to this video. It's an old video, but it's relevant. Millions of men in their prime working age are leaving the labor force, creating a hole in the market, or in something, I can't see the last word. Before I begin, damn straight, you gotta be kind of desperate, or I don't know. I worked construction, I worked some industrial jobs, and really, man, they put a toll on your body. It's you're gonna be having aches and pains and all kind of injuries. It's not a great life. It's not something that you could retire on, honestly, and it's not something that you could do for like a long time. So if something better comes up, you damn right, people ain't gonna be sticking around. And slowly and surely, men are finding out that it ain't worth it, and therefore the younger guys, they're not even attempting to even try. I remember I tried to get my nephew. I was doing some. I have a lot of side hustles. That's the only reason I've been able to survive for like over 11 years without like a really good job. I've been temporary jobs here and there, but side hustles. And I was doing a side hustle. This guy paid me to do his backyard. He wanted a garden, and I had to put a lot of mulch and brand new soil and everything. And I was like, well, I'm gonna need a hand, So I went and grabbed my nephew. He was like 14 years old. I remember when I was 14 years old, I already had a full-time job at 14. And so I grabbed him, no freaking work ethic, just like barely there, didn't do anything, man. I was losing money. He worked with me until lunch. I took him home to eat, I took him to, we have a family restaurant. I took him to the family restaurant, left him there, and went back to it because I was like, man, you know what, I'm gonna pay you. I think I got it from here. I can't have, and in his defense, it's like, why work hard? I understand it, but yeah. So he's not the first one that I've met. That this new generation of young men, they ain't busting their ass no more because they know there's easier ways to get money. So now let me play this clip.
With a not so bravo topic, we're talking about jobs and a major hiring crisis, a problem really bigger and older than the Great Resignation you've heard so much about. It's a problem you're not going to find in the unemployment rate, which is, of course, at near record lows. And it's because a large number of American men in particular, men in their prime working years, are actually not working. And they're not even looking for work. The result is a bit of a mystery and also a major hole in the American economy.
My name's Mike Rowe, and this is my job.
Of all the jobs he's done over the past 20 years.
Before they even started this, I kind of had I was like, I bet you they're going to bring this dude because anytime it's about men in the workforce, crappy jobs, they always bring this dude because he worked a bunch of dirty jobs.
Ready to get dirty.
And Mike Rowe has done them all as the host of Dirty Jobs on Discovery.
From machines to dump. Well, that was dirty job, isn't it? The hoses that suck.
He's never claimed to be an economist.
Thank you.
But while taping the series during the Great Recession of 2008, he did notice something important.
All anybody was talking about was the number of people who were out of work. But on dirty jobs, even then, everywhere we went, we saw help wanted signs.
It turns out dozens of real-life economists and other researchers have a possible explanation: a long-term decline in male labor force participation. Or as one think tank summarized it, men not at work.
This is a men problem by and large, right?
Seems to be.
Look back to the 1950s, and 98% of men in their so-called prime working years had a job or were looking for one. That number has fallen ever since, to the point where today more than 7 million men have essentially dropped out of the workforce.
We've given a lot of people a lot of options. And incredibly, one of those options is do nothing. Do nothing.
Roe and I met at Empire Metal.
Yeah, the option the government does is they just ignore the problem, like everything else.
A fabrication and finishing shop in Queens, New York, and where, much like manufacturing shops nationwide, finding skilled workers like these is a growing challenge.
We have more jobs than we have people for, about 1.5 jobs for every one worker.
Jay Timmons, who leads the National Association of Manufacturers, describes all this as a profound problem for the companies he represents.
99.9% of them will say that their number one challenge right now is being able to fill those open jobs.
So you are here as a representative of more than 14,000 manufacturers in these United States. And the number one problem for 99 out of 100 of them is filling jobs.
Yeah. I never thought I'd be able to say that. But now it's kind of an all hands on deck. We've got to fill these jobs that are open.
And there are nearly 800,000 of those jobs open right now, according to the latest federal count, a number that surged in recent years as companies reinvest in American-made products, or try to anyway. And with manufacturing workers earning more than $30 an hour on average, Timmons says the problem is not pay, but perception.
It used to be dirty.
Nah, it is pay. Don't let them fool you. They're talking about what. Here's the thing about this pay thing. Yes, these jobs pay good, right? When you first get hired. After you get hired, your pay stays the same, you know. So, like a lot of these guys who stayed around, they're not getting paid what the new guys getting paid. They're getting paid much lower. Yeah, so they advertise high pay, but that's for the new guy. Because they got lucky with this loyal employee that stood around there, and they're not giving that person a raise. So, and the pay does not keep up with inflation. So let's say right here they start you off at $31 an hour, and you applied, you got the job, you stick around for another 10 years. Realistically, the rate inflation is going, $31 an hour won't be nothing in 10 years, you know, and that's probably what you still get paid. So that's the big problem, is that the pay does not keep up with inflation. And the other problem is, really, is the pay really worth it? Like, if you've ever been in construction, like I saw this dude right there, welding. I wasn't a welder, but I was a welder's helper, and I would just put like, sometimes I was with the fitter, and I would do tacks, or most of the times I was with the grinder, just removing welds. And it's hell on your back, your lungs, and your eyes. Your eyes, if you're in a place where there's constant welding, even with the shield from the side, they're getting burned. Your lungs just constantly smelling all the smoke and pollution. It's unescapable. Yeah, you got to filter sometimes, but you're not always wearing that, and it's not comfortable. You know, it's the like I said, you put a toll on your body, and after a certain age, you really can't handle that type of lifestyle anymore. It's a young man's game, and really you don't want to get injured or hurt your body that young, because you only got one body, man. You mess that up, you'd be crippled. I saw people, especially when I was in the oil rigs, with lifelong injuries, you know, messed up hands that were broken, or I think one guy was missing an eye. So there's life, there's injuries that money can't really pay, you know, for the pain and suffering that you're gonna suffer for the rest of your life.
Dark and dangerous today. It's very sleek. It's very technology driven.
Like this dude, he has a cush job. That's the kind of job, you know, I want a job like that. AC, you know, I don't want to wear a suit, but fuck it, I'll wear one for if you pay me enough.
And that's what we saw when we visited Electrosoft, a company outside Philadelphia that makes circuit boards for everything from missiles to submarines.
Over there is the quality area where we do first piece article testing, final testing.
But CEO Carla Trotman says they could be doing more if only she had the workers to do it.
How many people work here right now?
30,
How many people do you wish worked here right now?
45.
So you have 15 people that you have jobs for,
Yes.
but you can't find them.
Cannot.
How much money in lost business is there in not being able to hire the people that you want?
Around 5 million.
So there's an issue. The reason, like I said, it's not just pay, because workers, we got smarter. We were like, all right, you're gonna pay me good, but we know how work is. It comes in waves and stuff, and I want something that I can retire in. Do you offer anything like that? So when it slows down, I still got a job. Do you want me here for 20 years? If so, what are you gonna do to make sure that like I'm set? You know, I'll give you 20 years. I'll be loyal. Men are loyal, but only really if they know it's gonna pay off. So you want men to work in your factory. You gotta offer something that they know. All right, I could do 20 years here. You know.
In top line revenue.
5 million
Yeah,
that would be here, and then presumably you'd be paying taxes on,
obviously.
and it would
Yeah.
go into people's pockets and would be going out in the broader economy.
Yeah.
What is your theory about where those 15 people are right now?
I honestly have no idea where they are.
She suspects some people may be sitting out because of a recent change in the way many of us look at work.
I think it's fulfillment. I think it's culture. I think people really want to feel as though they are appreciated. I mean, Beyonce's song, she said, release your job. A lot of people release their jobs. They don't, and they realize, I mean, it's an overall feeling of being fed up and being taken for granted.
But there's more, according to one economist. Some non-working men face a skills mismatch. A third have criminal records, making them ineligible for many jobs and making employers hesitant to hire them. And many rely on safety nets, such as disability. So you may wonder, what are these guys doing instead of work? Well, kind of what you might expect. Spending nearly 7 hours each weekday on average, relaxing, playing games, and watching TV.
So how is it, from where you're sitting, from your understanding, that people can do nothing all day and still have enough money for a bag of chips?
Oh, well, it's almost as though some entity is paying them. It's almost as if somebody is not letting them fail. It's as if...
Bullshit, because I've never once, my whole life, I've never had unemployment, any fucking help from the government, all right? I don't want to hear this bullshit.
Some giant parent somewhere has...
An uncle, maybe?
Could be a rich uncle, yes. Could be a very wealthy uncle.
Or it might come down
And I'm gonna tell you this: unemployment rates, unemployment runs out. It's not for the rest of your life. I don't know what the fuck he's talking about.
value.
This motherfucker, you got a cushy ass job. You work for a TV station. I don't want to hear your bullshit.
As many public schools
Just because this motherfucker, just because I've done a lot of dirty jobs, this and that, motherfucker. Those are those aren't a livelihood. You do it. You come from your studio, you get a little dirty, and you feel like you could talk, like you talk about it, like you've been doing it your whole life.
offering shop class, many students have stopped even considering jobs like the ones Roe has spotlighted, dirty or otherwise.
It goes back to the stigmas and stereotypes and myths and misperceptions that are keeping guidance counselors from talking about opportunities like this.
You know what? I would have been like, all right, how come you motherfuckers don't want to work here? Oh, because there's better paying jobs. Oh, yeah, right, huh?
To the kids.
That's how I would have flipped them. That's why I can't have my own TV show, because I'll keep it real. I would have told them, I would have told the other motherfucker in the suit, the people in the studios, yeah, one man don't want to work there. You know what? We're hiring. Do you want to work here? Take a giant pay cut?
It's those things that are keeping parents from putting all the options on the table.
How big of an issue is it to have this?
It's always the rich motherfuckers. I don't understand why people don't want to work. Blah, 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 blah. Oh, yeah. Would you do it? Oh, of course not.
Many people sitting on the sideline.
It's only a matter of our national identity. I think it's a giant issue, and by the time we realize how big an issue it is, we're gonna have a hard time turning the temperature down.
Fascinating.
But look at these guys in the suit. You offer them that job, would they take it? Obviously they wouldn't, you know. And I'm in agreement, you know, I would rather work in that studio, AC, Fame. Usually these people make a couple million a year. You know, if you're the top anchor, you're at almost, I think, like 50 million plus, maybe a couple hundred million. Like if you're on national news, ask them, hey man, you want to do anything else? Hell no.
Right. 7 million men, and they're watching 7 additional hours.
I was going to
of
say
TV and
that.
relaxing.
Yeah, that
Hey,
figure got me.
that's
Are
wild.
the women in their lives, or the partners in their lives working?
So this is where it gets a little bit political. People on the right will say these guys are just living off government largesse. They're getting disability, they're benefiting from aid, and that's got
Ain't nobody saying that shit, but yeah.
to be reformed. And people on the left say they just need to be trained up. And yeah, in the meantime, they're living at home or they're depending on partners.
You mentioned this skills mismatch, and it just made me think. You know, my grandfather was a machinist, which is a highly skilled job. Not anybody, you have to be trained to do that. And I don't know a lot of machinists now in 2023. And I wonder if people are being trained for that. And he mentions Mike.
So Micro has a foundation called Micro Works where he does give people scholarships for that kind of training. That's part of the issue. But like Carla Trotman, the woman in Philadelphia who runs the circuit board manufacturing facility, she'll train you herself. If you're in the Philadelphia area, they're looking for 15 people there. It pays well. It's a nice, clean, quiet place to work. So go there. By the way, some people think, oh, maybe these guys are doing more stay-at-home dadding. That's an optimistic view. I looked at the numbers. Shauna Thomas, our executive producer, brought this up. In fact, these guys who are not working and not looking for work are spending less time caring for other household members than the guys who are at work. So they're doing less child care, not even a little bit more.
I don't know, but an able-bodied man who can work and doesn't, it's not attractive.
It's not attractive. Shut your ass up. Look, and that's how they look at us, these elites. Oh, you're just lazy. It's like, nah, I'm not lazy. I'm just tired of being a sucker. I'm thinking ahead in the future. You know, can I retire in this industry? No. Then I want somewhere where I can retire. And if I can't retire, then I'm gonna work to be independent. I'm a plan ahead. You know, and stop wasting time. Man, and here's my thing too. If you're gonna criticize, how about, like I said, you put yourself in their shoes. You know, go ahead and work that 9 to 5 or whatever kind of trash job, and make that paycheck. Give up your job. Do the other job. See how long you last, and then you're like, you know what? Screw this nonsense. All right, let me know. Is it people being lazy? Is it people being fed up about being screwed over with? That's what my theory is. Men are just tired of being fucked over, and we just had enough.